of the gospel. Hello, hello. Welcome to the Foot of the Gospel show, where education is the key and learning is the process. How have you been, guys? I've missed you a lot. I hope all is well with you. This past week, it was a little bit busy for me with work and interviews and going back to school. Imagine, what kind of life is that? So I hope you are well and your week was great, amazing. So I hope you had some good things to be done this past week and that today, your Saturday, is amazing. Since it's the end of the month of February, this is the end of the month of love. I hope you've shown a lot of love and energy to everybody as you wanted to. So now, today, I have a topic that I would like to speak to you about. It's the purpose of pain. I know. You know, a lot of people will be like, what is that? The purpose of pain. Why do we have to talk about it? Does it have a meaning or is it meaningless? I can assure you, it has a meaning. You need it. You need to know the purpose of pain so that you know where you're going and when you're coming from, so that you don't sink into one spot, but you move and become a new person. So, I'm going to tell you, even the Bible highlights that pain is not meaningless, but rather a tool that God uses for growth, refinement, and ultimate goodness. So the key verse I'm going to give you, the key verse for this include, we have Romans 8:28, which state that God works all things together for good. And also we have James 1:4, which explain that trials produces perseverance and maturity. So you see, God works all things together for good, which means every pain you go through, every struggle you go through, every challenge you go through, God is there. I know it takes time. I know sometimes we hate the process because it takes time. And the process, sometimes you might find yourself dwelled in pain, in regret, in depression, in a lot of negativities, I know. But trust me, the end justifies the mean. So to God, everything you're going through, you're still going to become a conqueror in the end. So, as you can see, I told you about James 1:4, which explained the trial, that trial produces perseverance and maturity. When you go through trials, you know, right? Like you are looking for a job, you're seeking for a job, you're not getting the job, no interviews, nobody to connect you, and life is so hard for you. You're thinking about your bills, how are you going to pay your bills, how are you going to pay for your rent or your cars, you know, or your insurance, everything, how are you going to move around if you don't have a job, you don't have a revenue, you don't have an income. So it's a little bit complicated. But trust me, that process, when you work with God and you give him everything, guess what? You're going to make it in the end. So it produces perseverance. The more you deep into God when you go through trials, the more you connect with him when you go through trials, the more you become perseverance. And then also, it makes you grow. You become a little bit mature in Christ. You know, it's different from a person who is mature in Christ and someone who's not mature. Because maturity counts also. When you're a Christian, the way you take things, the way you plan, the way you deal with struggle, problems, or anything else that is like a challenge to you, That's what, to me, I call kind of like maturity. When you are mature in Christ, you will know how to live. You know how to take things. So I will encourage you to actually know and find out about the purpose of your pain. What that pain wants to tell you. What does it mean? Why are you going through that? Is it because you did something you were not supposed to do? Or is it because God is taking you to a place where you're supposed to be, but then you have to go through that process? And how do you see yourself through that process? Because the how, that's what makes you who you are and who you're going to become mature in Christ. So I'm going to tell you some of the key purpose in pain from the Bible. As I told you, Romans 8:28, and then we also have James 1:2-4, and we also have Romans 5:3-5, and I also got Genesis 50:20, and then I have 1 Peter 6:1-6-7, then I have Philippians 1:29. If you go read on those, you would think about the purpose of pain and you will see how it might lead you to who you are going to become. So the purpose of pain also, it's good because going through that process, it's not easy, yes, but as a child of God, you got to trust your Father because He knows you. But what He wants from you is that He wants to hear from you. What do you think? What do you have? So guys, I'm going to move to the purpose aspect. Sorry, guys. So I have purpose aspect of the pain before I could end this show. So I'm going to leave you with 4 purpose aspect of pain. The first one is refinement. When we talk about refinement, what comes out in your mind? You see, right? Refinement, which tells us that just as gold is refined by fire, trials mature. So also trials strengthen character and faith, which means as gold is refined by fire, trials, challenges, or struggle you're going through, those ones strengthen your character and faith. So it makes you increase your faith in God. You now believe in God more than the pain you are going through because you are, even Jesus, He went through pain, guys, right? He was crucified. He was beaten up. He asked for water. They gave him sour, whatever liquid that was. But in the end, he was victorious because he had a Father too. He trusted Him. That's the same thing. That's an example of how we have to take our pain, our trials, our challenges, because it's going to actually to redirect us to who we have to become in God. It's going to strengthen our character and it's going to increase our faith. Faith is all it takes for you to move from that struggle to a conqueror. So don't give up. Through that pain, do not give up. Instead, trust in God because He's going to refine you and you'll be conquerors in the end. The second one, we're going to talk about growth because we also talk about how growth can lead you because through pain, through depression, through everything, when you go through that process, in the end, what happens? You grow. It's either you grow into someone who's going to remain in that pain forever if you decide to stay there, or you grow into a mature person who sees positivities all the time. And that growth is what I'm looking into. It's what I'm talking about. As a child of God, we need to have a positive growth because the pain will make you strong. And then you will see your ability. How can you become strong? How can you grow when you're going through a lot? The third one, we're going to talk about perspective. So pain reminds believers to rely on God rather than themselves. Perspective. So you see your God as the ultimate solution of it all. Without God, you are lost. Without God, you're nothing. Without God, there's no meaning in life. And without God, that pain is going to make you suffer. So trust in God. And lastly, oh my goodness, I love this. Guess what? Comfort. You know, right? We all know when comfort is there. it makes you feel good, right? When you have somebody to comfort you, that person will always be there. He will give you some sweet word. He will always be there and take care of you. So the comfort we get, that's God. That's God. If you've been through a lot and you just hear that comfort, that calming voice, that calming spirit talking to you, the peace in your heart that you cannot explain, that comfort comes from the Lord. So as you can see, I told you, right? Pain has a meaning. It depends with how you want to take that pain and how you want to go about it. In the end, if you trust God, you put faith into Him, and your perspective leads you to God, then you're going to find comfort, right? Yes. So you see, pain has a purpose and it's meaningful. Pain has a meaning because through that pain, that will reproduce who you have to become. That's how you know that you've been from A, you moved to B, and now you are a mature person in Christ. So this is where I'm ending my today's episode about the purpose of the pain. Know your pain, know the purpose of that pain, and know how to go about it. Give it to God. Let Him deal with it and take the process, go through it. Do not jump steps, no. It's not good. We don't jump steps. We have to go through every step of that pain for us to become conquerors. Then you will know how to comfort the next person that you meet who will be dealing with the same issue, okay? So I love you guys. I've missed you. And I know this is not the last episode we're going to have. We're going to have more. But as I always say, you want to be my guest, you are welcome. Just text me. You have a topic that you want me to discuss about, just text me the topic. I'll be so glad and happy to have you in my show, and I'll be so glad and happy to have some of the topic you want me to discuss about, so that we are educating people, right? Because the fruit of the gospel is all about educating. Education is the key here, and the learning is the process. So as I told you, right, don't jump the step. Go through every step. So that's the process. So the fruit of the gospel is all about the process and educating. I love you guys. Don't forget to text me on this number, 682-558-0643. Make sure when you text on that number, you say the fruit of the gospel. Then you either write your topic or you either write your name and say you would love to be a guest for this show. So this was your sister Rose Ochi. I was glad to be with you on these few minutes that we're together. I hope to see you next time. Stay tuned, like, share, subscribe, and I'm sending you all the love that I can since it's the last day of February, and I hope you had a great Valentine's. Either you were alone or you were with the person you love. And so I love you guys, and to my soulmate, I love you, man. Bye, guys.